Hello, Lisa Fry, the Catholic unschooler, homeschooler, all around schooler. I'm back for the not heart attack. We'll say that. Hello, I'm home in my own bed. I had spent, it's not the worst thing in the world, I know, but they, sorry about my hand, they had me in the same spot near the nurse's station. Oh, bad idea. Oh my gosh, like, I went in one day at 9:30 and in the morning I stayed all day and then they said, "Okay, you have to stay the night." I'm thinking, "Am I gonna get my own room?" Yeah, right. And I stayed right in that spot in the hallway like other people did too, and all the way up until the next day until like 3:30. And I had every test known to man. Okay, not just there, but I'm really excited because overall in the last couple of months I've had all kinds of testing done on my being, and every single one of them was good. So I am just like, yeah. Okay, so the deal is, I because there have been no damage at all, there's been no damage at all on anything. There was no blood clots, there was no anything on the brain. There was no, and I had it on my skull, arteries. I had my heart, even deep inside the heart test, and what else? I've had echograms. I've had the ultrasound of the heart. That was really cool because you see the blood flowing through my heart. It was just like, wow. And yeah, it was crazy. See how I'm laying right now? I was on that side though, okay? And all of a sudden I feel, the only way I can describe it is, so watch my hand, right? So imagine this, my leg, this is my skin, right? It felt like that maybe something was going down like that. Can you see my hand? It was going down, but it went really fast. And it was started, I guess, around here, but it didn't feel so much of it, but I think it was. And it went right down. The most place I felt it was in my leg, on my right leg. Everything was my right side and mostly on the legs. I think it was up top too, but mostly on the legs. And as it was doing that, literally, I was in the bed and I was like, my body, I was not doing it on purpose. Like right now I am, but it was just naturally just killing me over. It was just like a crunch, and I was like, ugh. I was like, wow, what the heck? And I got out of bed slowly and I started calling for Sarah. Like, I was like, Sarah, I said, call 911. And she did. She was a pro. She's my little secretary. I help her. She helps me with all this medical stuff. And she goes, now you know how I feel. I'm like, oh yeah. So, so when I got there, they did all these tests and everything came back negative. So when I left the hospital today, the outcome was, that because there was no damage and they really can't pinpoint anything else, he said that my symptoms were, and part of it was the neck. Okay, so I was sitting when the EMTs were in my kitchen. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I got a pain right here in my neck and shoulder, like, and it wasn't terrible. It was just like the sharp pain that came out of nowhere, and that is one of the signs of a heart attack. And so I just investigated that, but all the signs that I was telling him where he goes, if you open up a textbook, it would be like classic. And I'm like, what? So he says that we have to just treat it as such. So that doesn't mean it was that, right? My friend Peter saying, hey, Lisa, that happens to me all the time. Everything went to sleep. And I said, yeah, but there was no tingling or anything. When something falls asleep and it tingles afterward, there was nothing like that. He goes, no, that's fine. It doesn't with me either. So, you know, what do I know? And what does he know compared to, you know what I mean? So I told Peter that today. I was like, you know what? I have to go with this, with them. And so because I had all the not all the signs, but there were some signs that make them think, that it could be a, what's it called? Is it a TIA? I think so. Mini stroke. Isn't that wonderful? Lovely. So again, it may not be. I don't know, but we're going to treat it as such. And I'm on 3 different types of medication that I cannot believe, because I've always really loved the idea that I never take medication. It's just great. I don't mean like Tylenol or anything like that. And I don't really do that much of that. So anyway, I have a new PCP and I'm so excited because he's so wonderful. Can I close my eyes? I am so exhausted and I'm not sure if it's the medication, but definitely sleep. I didn't get to sleep till 4 in the morning. And that's another video I'm going to make and tell you what happened in there. This place is insane, okay? Oh, it was crazy. The specialists, they were really, yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes closed, okay? Because they burn. They were very professional and polite and kind. It was the nurses, man, I'm telling you. And even the EMT drivers, not mine. Other people that went in there, oh, wait till I tell you what they were talking about. It's just terrible. It's not good. What am I saying to you? So I have this new PCP. I love him. It's a guy. I never wanted a man doctor, but I wouldn't trade him for the best 20 female doctors. He's wonderful. He's very thorough. And I'll go see him and see what he says. And my goal is to, I mean, if I have to be on any kind of medication for the rest of my life, whatever. But he seems to be the kind of guy, like he's trying to help me lose weight right now. I know it sounds funny, but it's true because I need help. And so he's really good because he'll say, Lisa, it's not going to happen overnight. He's from France. He has this beautiful French accent, and you know, he says, you do it, and it's a project, you know. And I'm just like, so now when he goes, don't get disappointed that it doesn't come off fast, you know, just look at it like a project. You come back here in a few months, and which I'm going back sooner than that. And then we'll see what we can do. But he wanted me to try it naturally, which I really liked, instead of just running to a medication. So I have a feeling, and let's hope so, that he will try to really find a way to get me off anything like that. And you know what's really cool too? I have a friend. Her name is Julia. I worked with her. That's how I met her, and we've been friends for like 30 years. She used to be my boss, and she is a speech therapist, and she also was very interested through her learning about that, like how the mind and the body go hand in hand, like your soul, really, right? And she was saying that when your body is filled with a lot of stress, right, you're on the fight, you know, the fight and flight, your body is like, so like when Sarah, for those of you that don't know, and you might be here listening to my story, my husband passed away, so I have that, and that was 3.5 years ago. Can you believe it? 3.5 years already? But so you carry around that stress, and you carry the stress of looking at your kids and how they saw what they saw with him dying, and you know, and not having him around anymore, and you know, that makes me feel worse just knowing that, and how long they have to live their lives without him, and that's stressful too. And you try to find really happy things and try to have your faith in God and really work it all out, but regardless of any of that, which is good and right, is that it's still with you. And then to find out that my daughter had cancer in August, and she's in remission, yes. But you know, I still have thoughts. I still have crazy thoughts, and yeah. I don't like to go into what thoughts they are, but you know, and just life itself and how I'm gonna get by and all this here and whatever. And so she's saying that, so here I am, picture I'm in the hospital with Sarah, right? And she's everywhere I go, right? I can't break down in front of her because that isn't good, you know? So I have to hold it all in, you know? And so all that stress is built up. Now, right before this happened with this sensation on my leg, I had the best day ever with, when I say ever, I mean lately, with Sarah and my friend Peter. We went out to a cafe, me and Sarah, and then Peter joined us, and we had pizza. We walked around the little town, and we went shopping, like window shopping. It was just beautiful, and a whole lot of other nice things. And I was talking to God on the way home after I dropped Peter off, and I said, Lord, should I listen to the radio? Should I call somebody on the phone? Should I listen to a YouTube channel? Like, what should I do? And I said, you know what? I'll talk with you instead. So I did. And then, I was really concerned and telling him like A to Z of my concerns. And I'm like, I know I act like that you don't even know this already. Like, and so I was like, could you please just tell me a little bit about like how I'm going to, whatever my concern was. I said, I just would like a little information. And then like, I didn't hear anything, I didn't get this idea, this knowing. And so, oh, excuse me. Ugh, so unprofessional, but I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't get paid, so I can do that. I'll still do it even if I do. What am I saying to you? So the end conclusion of my talk with God was, I just don't know, right? I had a question for him and I'm just like, I don't know. All right, I'll tell you what it is. So after a few years, I'm going to say, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to, do anything? Because right now we receive help from my husband's death. And so you get nervous. Right? So I'm always like, okay, yeah, you have to go work. You have to get a job, whatever you do. I don't know what that's going to be. But that's the part I just don't know. And so I'm always like, Lord, just please help me and tell me what I should be doing because I don't know. And now Sarah's got that. And now I have this. It's like, what am I going to do? So I just realized that I was like, I had to like just throw my hands up. And I just basically said, okay, so I guess I just don't know. And I started laughing. And I noticed that every time I laughed about it, it was like freedom. So it was like that release, right? That I was telling you about my friend Julia, the speech therapist. You have all the stress and then you finally find a way to, find joy and you really mean it. And now you're like, all that stress that you had in there was all built up and it wants to come out. So I went to bed very happy and very stress-free. And I was like, I just don't know. Ha ha. And I found freedom with it all, you see? And it was funny because I felt like, that must have come out in a way. It's like all that stress, So I just thought that was interesting and maybe you could use it for your life if that ever happens to you. I don't mean that, but, there were times I felt like rejoicing over something, and then while I'm rejoicing over like real freedom in my soul, my body was like in agony about something. I don't even know. I was just like, why am I hurting? Why do I feel sick? And it was because all the stress was coming out. It was like oozing out, so to speak. And yeah, you know what I mean. And thank you guys. I saw your little comments and praying for me always in my family and my father and Steven and Sarah. Oh, wonderful. So I guess I'll go to sleep. I am so exhausted. And yeah, please continue to pray. I pray for you today. While you guys are praying for me, I get you covered. I get you underneath my 54-day novena, which I'm almost done. I'm on like 40-something day. And then Sarah's cycle will be done too. And I'll have one more cycle for her treatment. And then she'll slip into maintenance. So much to think about. But I just don't know. And it's true. It's true. It's true. All right. So I will see you, or not see you. guys later. Thank you so much. Please pray for Mr. Fry, my father. And it makes it sound like I'm saying, please pray for Mr. Fry, who is my father, but I'm not. It's Mr. Fry, my late husband, my father, and our Sarah. And remember, you say it. Go ahead. You say it. That's right. Remember, God is good all the time. I'm so glad to be home. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Keep praying for me. And then maybe tomorrow morning during coffee, or if I can free up space on here. I'm only allotted so much space on the phone. You know what I mean? If I don't get all these videos up, then I just can't keep recording. But I really want to tell you about the crazy experience in the ER. It's just weird. Okay, good night.